Good evening. Welcome to the Roberto Clemente Charter School Board of Trustees meeting. It's August 18, 2026, 7 o'clock. Prior to tonight's board meeting, the board entered a subsequent executive session to discuss legal matters. For now, let's take a look and review the agenda. Having looked at the agenda, before we go to review of minutes, I'd like to welcome a new member to our board, Ralph Andrews. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, take a moment to review the minutes. I need a motion to approve the minutes as written.
Motion to approve minutes.
Jill, second.
Second.
Gus. Okay, motion has been made. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Looking to see if there's any public input. Being no public, we'll move on to the next thing, which is the CEO office.
Thank you, Dr. Dolgus. Good evening, everyone. Been a busy week and last week as welcoming our teachers and staff back into the building, which has been really great to set the tone and set the stage for our upcoming school year. A few items from the CEO office tonight. So first, I'm presenting for the board's approval, the school's annual Title I school-wide plan. The plan follows the same template as years past and highlights strengths and areas of growth according to federal measures, such as student achievement, growth expectations, regular attendance, graduation rate, and career benchmarks. The plan for the 26-27 school year focuses on the consistent implementation of standards-aligned English and math programs K to 12. Because we are designated as TSI or targeted support or as a school that needs targeted support and improvement, the board is required to approve our Title I school-wide plan.
Okay. Motion to approve the Title I school-wide plan as provided.
Okay, Gus, a second.
Second.
Jill. A motion has been made to approve the plan. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Also being recommended for the board's approval this evening is a letter of agreement with the Center for Humanistic Change, which is a local community organization that provides educational resources to schools. This letter of agreement provides our student assistance programs with liaison support from the CHC at both campuses. These individuals attend our SAT meetings at each building and provide connections to community resources for students and their families.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Jill, second.
I second the motion.
And Ruth. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Great. Being presented for a first reading this evening is an update to the school's anti-bullying and anti-hazing policy. This version has been recommended by the school's attorneys, and it is in accordance with recent changes to the Pennsylvania School Code, which took effect on July the 1st. This version was also reviewed by the Education Committee, which met last week. There's no action required by the board this evening. It is being presented again for a first reading.
Thank you.
Sure. A few.
Is this patterned after the existing type agreement from another school?
It's patterned off of our existing policy
Okay.
with a few tweaks to include timely notification to parents of
Yep.
all bullying or suspected bullying incidents, the appropriate staff members to report bullying incidents to, and that the policy will be reviewed every 3 years and that it is shared with all
Yeah.
stakeholders within 90 days.
Good, thank you.
Sure. Some other highlights for the board, like I mentioned, we did have new staff induction last week where we welcomed our new teachers and staff. Yesterday kicked off all staff orientation for all 100 of our employees. We had centralized activities last Thursday and also yesterday on Monday, where all of our new teachers and staff, and then all of our staff learned and worked together to review organizational procedures and areas that impact all of our roles. Yesterday, during our all-staff opening, and this is what I highlighted in the celebration section of my report, is our opening exercise focused on a really exciting milestone for Roberta Clemente Charter School. The class of 2027
Mhm.
represents our first cohort of students who have attended RCCS from kindergarten through the 12th grade. We recognized 4 students yesterday morning. 2 of them were present with us and 1 parent as well, who wrote a really great email celebrating the school and the impact that it's had on her family that I was able to share with our teachers and staff. There are 4 fantastic students who really embody our profile of a successful learner, and I'm really proud that they are the ones that we're gonna be able to graduate on June 10th, 2027 as our first true K-12 RCCS students.
Very cool.
So how many again? 4?
4.
Yeah.
4 from the beginning. Really, really exciting. Something that I'll share with the board that I shared with the staff yesterday is on my work cell phone, I have a photo on the background, and it's one of those students. And the photo is from our ribbon cutting ceremony that we had. It's hard to see, it's dark. But it's of Melanie Gomez. And when we had our ribbon cutting ceremony back in 2015 in the parking lot, she was a kindergarten student and she was selected to help me cut the ribbon. And I've had that photo on my phone for many, many years now as a reminder of this milestone to come, and it's here, which is really exciting for our school, and it really shows our mission and our vision, what we're working towards in action, and it's something for us to celebrate all year long. And that's all I wanted to share. I'd be happy to answer any questions about my report otherwise.
No?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember exactly, to the next year or the year after. We didn't have a 12th grade in the first year. It took 2 years to get a 12th grade. So what's the 25th anniversary of our first graduation? Is that next year? The year after? Our first high school graduation?
That was in 2000 and.
That would have been 2003.
4. 2000. We had 3.
Coming up, it might be.
Graduated.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember, because I keep getting the beginning of the school year confused with like the end of the school year and doing the wrong math.
Yes, right. I always count from the end of the school year.
Right,
Yeah,
okay,
And it
yeah,
was
so,
3 students who
Mhm.
graduated the first time.
right.
I remember that.
I have one of their contact information. Dr. Vasquez had put me in contact with.
yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be, that's what I'm looking at, that'd be kind of cool.
Mhm.
Because that would be the 25th anniversary of our first high school graduates.
And that's all too for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe it, but I wasn't 100% sure, because I keep getting the beginning of the year and the end of the year confused,
Mhm,
and.
Yeah.
Something to look forward to.
Yeah, it'd be a real full
Oh,
circle.
03, that's when the
This
credit.
every year, because it goes by the school year.
It goes by the
This is
school.
2002.
Yeah, so that would be, I remember.
So, okay, so that it would be this June.
Then about grade.
June.
And
Yeah,
We
yes,
opened up-
my brain
We
is.
opened up the
having trouble
gym
wrapping
and the
around that.
cafeteria.
certain first school year and they
Okay,
June of.
And I
Oh,
was.
somebody was the old to be here
okay.
back in graduating.
Have to go get Jose to go in the archive,
Yeah.
on a floppy disk. Right.
Then it just kept growing and.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll look into that for sure.
Moving on, principal offices. The elementary school, Corey and Rick.
Thank you. Good evening to everyone. As Alyssa said, we did welcome new staff back last week and all staff this week, and it has been a joy. The buildings are no longer super quiet. We see a lot of happy faces for the most part. But it is good to have everybody back together as we prepare for the new school year. And so I believe our first day of school is coming up on Sunday. For the school year, for staff induction and orientation, we focused on introducing and say reestablishing those shared understandings of what it means to be an employee and a teacher at Roberta Clemente, our mission, our vision, our culture, the expectations as an organization within the building. And just the systems that we have in place to support the students and teachers to maximize their learning and teaching time. We are also hitting on school culture and community. The necessary but not always fun stuff, the policies, the procedures, and the safety protocols. I want to give a shout out to all the centralized departments who are over at the elementary school. I'm assuming the rest are at your building today for the safety and emergency preparedness. We went over our quick codes, student procedures, positive behavior supports and management, and just what additional student support programs we have in place that we're carrying over from this year and from last year and that we're tweaking for this year. And then we were looking at just those supportive learning environments, and that's going to lead into some of our professional development tomorrow with an IU presenter. Aggie.
Students will begin this year with a consistent welcome and clear expectations on how to be respectful, responsible, and active learners throughout our elementary building. We will continue with welcome activities, including school-wide behavioral expectations, reviewing of building procedures, including the hallway, cafeteria, during arrival and dismissal, uniform policies, and the outdoor activities during recess and gym. We will continue with our PBIS recognition systems, and we will do that with our individualized recognition with our Cookie Coins, our whole class through our Green Frogs, our positive lunchroom behaviors through our Green Cups. And of course, we'll continue with our positive office referrals and our quarterly PBIS challenges.
With the teachers, we are continuing the supports that we put in place with our common planning. It is so nice that we have so many of our staff members returning in their same role, so we can pick up where we left off last year and just keep pushing forward with that momentum and helping to improve their teaching and the student outcomes. And then some of the goals for this year, you guys are getting a sneak peek. We didn't get to it this today with the staff, but we are, terming this year visible thinking, visible learning. And we really need to push the envelope to have students do more of that heavy lifting in the classroom. We need to allow them the opportunity to explain their reasoning, to ask questions, to justify, to reflect, and to show their understanding so that way we can meet them where it's at, instead of just that idea of compliance, of hand raising or being quiet and completing the work. And that's going to be tying into our three focus areas of instruction, the learning environment, and then student learning with behavioral expectations.
Busy year.
A little bit. We're excited. We are excited.
As opposed to what other year?
Yeah.
We're optimistic about this year compared to
Yeah.
last year.
Thank you. Hey, next, secondary school. Hey, we got your two guys, Mr. Good and Mr. Andrews.
Yep, so for our report for this month, we combined it because we were talking about our induction, new teacher induction and our all teacher orientation, and our real focus for this week and last week is to unify some of our overall expectations and routines in our school, to make sure that we have clear line of communication. It can get a little bit confusing sometimes when you have two principals in one building and two schools in one building, even though we're all still one building and one school kind of. So we really wanted to take some time and to really review school safety things, positive school culture, our academic standard, our expectations for academics, communication, making sure we have clear lines of communications and expectations tied with that, and talking a bit about student engagement. We have a few more things planned for the rest of the week. Our counselors will be addressing students' mental health tomorrow, and what supports they offer in our building. We also, now that Mr. Boyko has moved into an instructional data coach, we are really focusing a lot more on looking at data and best practices for data utilization, and along with that, making sure that we are being more unified in how we're collecting data to make sure that we have a good data set to use when we're looking at things like behavior data and PBIS or academic data to drive our instruction. We are planning on tomorrow to kind of really look at our vision for our school, and we've looked at our school mission today, And if there's anything you want to.
Yeah, since joining the team, it's been important that Mr. Burke and I align our expectations from the staff. It can get difficult when we share so many staff members within the building, so it was imperative that they get the same message from both of us. So that's why kicking off this week together was important for both of us.
Cool.
And some of our, our focuses for this year is really making sure that we keep going with our PBIS program, that we reunify that a bit more, so it's a little bit more consistent from 6 to 12. Increasing our collaboration and planning among staff and keeping those lines of communications open.
Any questions?
No.
All good. All right, next, human resources.
Good evening, everyone. I'll give the human resource report fairly brief this evening, starting with our personnel, new hires. We have several individuals presented this evening's board for board approval. This includes Luis Almonte Peña, a full-time second shift custodian, Kendra Fox, full-time second grade teacher, Marjorie Rivera, part-time cafeteria aide and driver, Ethan Briggs, full-time high school English teacher, Mateo Cruz, temporary full-time long-term substitute teacher for math, Sophia Johnson, full-time high school social studies teacher, and Mohammed Mowat, temporary full-time long-term substitute teacher for ESL. I'll stop there for a motion.
We need a motion. Board, Ruth, second? Second. Jill? So motion has been made for the appointments of new hires. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Moving on to resignations, we only had two since our last meeting. Stop there for a motion.
Motion is needed for the listed resignations. Motion. Okay, Jill, second. Gus? Motion has been made. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
As far for recruitment, HR remains actively working to fill several positions. We're currently recruiting for a full-time LPN nurse assistant, a part-time cook, a full-time ESL teacher for the middle high school, 2 instructional assistant positions at the high school, and a part-time athletic coordinator. As we do each month, I'd like to invite any interested and qualified viewer to apply for our current or future opportunities. Applications may be submitted through our general application portal at myrccs.com. The resumes may be dropped off at any RCCS building and addressed to human resources. Lastly, from the HR committee, they're bringing forward the new elevator safety policy for its first reading this evening. The committee has reviewed the proposed policy and is being presented to the board tonight as part of the normal policy review and approval process. That concludes the HR report.
Did we have a policy before?
No,
This is new.
Yes.
Give us one.
This keeps getting scarier.
Yeah.
Stop them down. All right, well, thank you. Moving on, the business office reports.
Thank you, Kathy. The financial reports that went out this month is typical. This time of year, not a July report, but actually the fiscal year end June report. So the finance committee this past Friday reviewed, in addition to the July payment list, specifically the fiscal year end June reports. As far as the July activity and the payment list, you'll see that there was $153,000 in disbursements for the month. At this time of year, we do have a lot of one-offs. You know, we pay a lot of our subscriptions that are for the year. We'll pay them off, you know, over the summer. Then just book them on a schedule. So I do have some of those listed highlighted ones there, but I will certainly take questions on anything that's on the payment list.
Yeah, there's, I don't mind, I got you no question.
So we need a motion for the payment list.
Motion to approve the payment list is submitted.
Gus, second? Second. Jill, motion has been made to approve the payment list. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
So as I said, with the fiscal year end report, again, unaudited, in our internal reports. Do have a list of the activities for the month. Continuing on page one. I'll just point out down at the bottom of page one and carrying over to the top of page two. With our assigned funds, will was released during the month of June. And over on the page two, which were all the funds that were either reset or assigned during the June board meeting. Those were obviously booked in June. So that is what we would be showing at fiscal year end in our audited financials.
Everything up to the end of June.
Correct. Down a little further on the ways there with the unassigned general fund balance. So we are gonna end the year right around that 12%. Of our operating budget, which is at the higher end of that range. We usually try to hold between 8 and 12. But I will note that last bullet point there, that none of the year end journal entries that usually hit our balance sheet haven't been posted yet. So things like appreciation, amortization, all those GASB entries that affect the pension numbers on the third page of that balance sheet. Did I tell you those numbers only change once a year? And that's when we
Is it gonna warn that's showing up in the
It does
next
not-
months then, or?
So, well, it depends on that. We usually book them when the audit is done, because the auditors have to finalize those numbers, so.
They're not really booked yet.
So they won't be
Okay.
posted probably till closer to the holidays.
All right,
It won't impact the bottom line of our income statement. It's more balance sheet stuff. Non-cash stuff, things like depreciation. We may book a $200,000 entry. But that expense does not hit our unassigned fund balance. That hits our investment in capital assets fund balance. So we will be right around that 12% that fiscal year once the books are audited. As far as the contracts and agreements this month, we do have two up for recommendations for approvals, first being the winter weather maintenance services. So we did have a 3-year contract in place that ended this past winter season with DMC. So we had put that RFP back up on our website springtime. DMC came back with another 3-year renewal, basically locked in all the prices for an additional 3 years. And those prices are what the previous 3 years were, so essentially nothing has changed other than continuing another 3-year contract through 2029. All other terms stayed the same, so it's all 3 sites, all walkways, parking lots, entranceways, solar locations, the whole deal. So we'd be looking for the board to approve that.
motion to approve the winter maintenance services.
Okay, second. Second, Jill. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye,
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
it's nice to hear the price held.
Watch it not snow.
The second contract, again, is just a renewal, with Dr. Vargo, who's had a contract with for quite some time. So this would be a renewal for this, school year. Ending June 30th. The amounts did go up a little bit. When we renewed last year, the prices didn't go up at all, so. So this year they did go up. They're not unreasonable, especially when it's hard to find people in this line of work. So,
She's wonderful.
we would be looking for the board to approve renewing another year with the.
Motion to approve renewal contract.
All right, Jill, second.
I second the motion.
Ruth, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Then on the last page of the business board, I could just down at the bottom of the page, just make you aware that we do have the site visit for our auditor scheduled for the week of Labor Day. So they probably will be coming in to physically look at student files. Some things they have to test, that they have to test in person. When we started with this firm, which we've been with now for a few years, they are mostly digital. So I would say about 95% of what gets audited is all uploaded into a system, from us, which is fine. We have a lot of it digitized now anyway. But they still do have to physically look at personnel files. They'll do some testing on student files. They test residents and make sure that, we have the proper things as far as.
That's the means a random audit.
Random, yeah, they'll sell if there's, 100 files, well, they say they have to test 25%.
Right, fair enough, got it.
Yep, so that'll be first week of September.
Yeah,
When we get closer to that, I'll send emails out to the principals. With a list of the students and employees who may be getting tested, so.
Including people themselves,
Including people themselves.
or interviewed, not tested,
And interviews, yes.
or tested, however you hear it.
Okay.
And that is all I have.
or they can be testy with you.
Okay, next on the public input, saying no public, we're moving on. New business, anyone have any new business to report? Quiet. Might be a record breaker. We need
So I'm
moving to we need a motion to, okay, Al, second it. All in favor? Ruth? All in favor?
Who seconded it? Ruth?
Ruth.
You, okay.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed?
Won't be any closer. What's the
Abstentions? Motion carries.
7.
It is 7:20.
Seven,
7:20.
7:20.
7:20.
July was 7:29, so.
Oh.
Oh,
My memory serves me correct. You beat it by one.
So take that back, you're the hold up, yeah.